Welcome everyone to Ask the Kings Marriage and Relationship Podcast. I am Vincent King. This is my beautiful, wonderful, sophisticated wife, Mrs.
Shirley Walker King.
And as we are here to talk all things marriage, relationships, and love.
Because we're super duper qualified to talk about marriage, relationship, and love. Super duper, because we've been married for 30 years. I don't think I'm going to get tired of saying that this year. This year, you guys, did you know we've been married for 30 years? Yes, we've been together 32 and married for 30 years.
Long time.
So I think that qualifies us to talk about marriage, relationships, and love. Outside of any certifications, we do have a couple. So you're not just talking to some random people who decided, hey, let's just do a podcast. We have some experience in the game. So 30 years, I think that brings us to a point where we can share how we've made it successfully through 30 years of marriage, 15 active duty military and 15 as a civilian. Yes, the best of both worlds now.
Yeah, I'm with you on all that. 15 active and how many?
15?
Okay, civilian. Okay. So we want to get into the topic. We're going to talk about on this episode the money and marriage talk. Money, y'all. You know,
Money.
causes a lot of issues in relationships, your marriages. So that's always a big topic nationwide. Money is the second, not the first, but the second leading cause of divorce, right behind infidelity. Yeah. So, as we always talk about on our podcast, I think communication is kind of always the key to get in front of these issues. So, I mean, each one of you guys handles your money differently. So, I think you should discuss. You know your partner, so I think you kind of know who's the stronger one when dealing with money, or you might be in denial, but you know who you're dealing with.
We've been there. We've been down that river.
So. I think you guys should really discuss that. Who's the stronger one? Who's better or more responsible?
I like that word, more responsible.
Yeah, more responsible, yeah. So kind of we're dealing with the finances, and then you kind of let that person lead. It doesn't matter I don't think it matters if it's the guy, the man or the woman. It's just who's better with the money. So we're taught things and about money, and we're not taught things about money. So I think that would kind of will let you know, okay, well, who's the stronger person with dealing with the money. So you guys, again, you know your partner. So I think it would, behoove you to say, okay, baby, you're a little bit better with the money. Why don't you go ahead and handle this? I'll take a step back. Think so?
We've been there.
Yeah.
Done that. And reversed it back.
And you guys really, as married, or your spouse, your boyfriend, I always say married, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is you're trying to be with, you guys should really, just take the next step and not have secrets. So I think that causes issue. You guys trying to hide stuff, buy little stuff here and stuff. Okay, little stuff, but then that might add to some bigger issues.
Right.
We all play around. My wife might get a little pair of shoes, and I notice, when you get them shoes?
Them old things?
I don't think that's not a big deal. But when you really start to hide stuff from your spouse, then that's really not good. You guys are a unit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're a unit, so we're supposed to be kind of working together. So when you start lying about them things, I think that kind of breaks down the trust barrier. So I mean, you can use the infidelity thing. That's that's a trust barrier when you break that down. So I think the same goes with when you're dealing with your money. We might not want to think about it like this, say it in that manner, but she doesn't like me to say it, but I think marriage is like a business. So, you treat your spouse like your business partner. You don't want to lie, the good side of the business dealings. You don't want to lie to your partner. You want to be able to trust your business partner, no secrets, and then I think that will ultimately have a successful business or successful.
The first step in this marriage and business transaction. Okay, no, let me come back. So one of the things that you want to do when you do communicate your money talk because this is a marriage.
Correct.
That some people have the business concept, and if that works for you, that works for you. You know, it may be a joke for your partner, but you know, whatever works for you that has gotten us to 30 years, I'll take it.
Thank you.
Okay?
I see a little bit my way.
I see a little bit. I will take that business partner.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
We good?
Yeah, we
Or
good.
we gonna do a handshake?
No, we good. Good little shade there, y'all.
We're not keeping score. That's gonna come up later in another episode. But on this one, back to the 5 tips that we have to how to have the money marriage talk. So the first tip is you want to make sure you have an open and honest conversation about how to handle the money. You want to have a conversation about and discuss your money habits and my money habits.
Correct.
Because we're coming with baggage to the relationship. Whether that's good baggage or bad money management baggage, we both have money management baggage that we're coming to the relationship with. So we need to talk about it. You want to be honest about those habits. If you have, I don't know, a shoe thing where you feel like you got to buy a pair of shoes a month, at least be honest about it.
Yeah.
Be honest about what it is that you need and what it is that you want. Because you want to make sure that those needs line up with what's in that bank account.
Right.
Those wants are going to keep you in a negative.
Be the Joneses. Don't
You can't keep up with the Joneses. Let me tell y'all something. Don't be out here trying to keep up with the Joneses. Don't be out here trying to keep up with the Kardashians. Don't be out here trying to keep up with these IG, Instagram influencers that you see, because what you do for a living and what they do for a living, they may have a lot more zeros behind what they do, so they can flaunt and floss in that manner if they could.
Yeah.
But you want to communicate that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Open, honest, good habits, bad habits.
Right.
Number 1.
Number 2, identify who's who in the relationship.
Okay?
Who's who? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So once you have that open conversation with your spouse, you need to identify who's the more of the spender, who has more of the spender trait, and who has more of the saver trait.
Did he
I
just
wasn't
point
pointing,
this
I was
way
just
like
saying.
spender,
I
and
was
then
just
I
talking
looked
with
away?
my
Yeah, he
hand.
probably. I'm gonna see it when we edit it.
So-
So he probably pointed over there as he's the saver. But okay.
Who spends? Oh, who spends? Who saves? Who saves?
That looked like that hurt you.
So I mean, don't look at it as a good or
You're,
bad.
you're right.
Don't look at it as a good or bad trait. Okay, it's simply it is what it is.
Correct.
You know, it is what it is. We all have money management baggage,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. I think you just spoke on that. We all have baggage.
Right.
So if you are the saver, don't withhold money details from
Okay.
from your significant other, from your husband, from your wife. Don't point the finger.
Okay.
If you have no issues, that's going to bring about an argument, of course. Give feedback instead of criticizing another person.
Okay.
Again, this all might sound corny, but it's communication. Ask questions and don't assume.
Okay. So if you're the spender.
And it's kind of the same thing. Don't withhold money details.
Okay.
So that's kind of the same as number 1 on the top part. Don't withhold those details. Be honest about purchases. Whatever you're buying, it's okay to be honest.
Okay.
And then that person feels more comfortable. If you're like, hey man, I bought this and that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with saying that. And set realistic spending expectations and then try to stick to them.
Okay. I can get down with that. Number 2 is identify who's who in a relationship. Got it.
We good on that one?
We good on that one.
No shade on that one.
Number 3 is you want to decide who will manage the money and who will manage the bank accounts and what type of bank accounts. Some people like to be with a credit union. Some people like to be with a national bank or a big bank.
Okay.
So those are decisions that you guys need to decide which type of bank
Yeah.
and then who's going to handle which accounts.
Okay.
And we'll go over the which accounts because you can have a joint account. You can have a joint account with 2 side accounts. You can have a totally separate account. If you have separate accounts, will you guys discuss still money management within those separate accounts? Then you want to consider how are you going to split the bills? Are you going to split the bills 50-50? Are you going to split the bills based on who makes the most money or a percentage of who makes the most money?
Okay.
Or are you going to split the responsibilities for certain bills? For example, the mortgage is automatically taken care of with Vincent's VA retirement.
Right.
No questions asked. Nothing comes out of that until the mortgage does.
Right.
Because Uncle Sugar is always going to pay my mortgage. Because Uncle Sugar always took my man away for 6 months at a time for deployments. Okay, sorry, coming back.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
But it's very important for you to discuss those. You know, how are you going to pay it? Who's going to pay it? How much are you going to pay? What's going to be paid first, second, third, etc. Okay. If you have 2 car notes, are you going to pay the car note that you drive and I pay the car note that I drive? You know, just things that you want to talk about. If you have a joint account, then you have your fund money to the side. Each person can have their own fund, personal fund. Yeah. And then if you're saving for a special event, do you have a vacation fund? Right. And how much goes over there? Am I putting 25% and you putting 30%? Right. You know, so you guys have to make all those little decisions, but it's best to get that out and sit down and talk about it because that's very, very important. And what can help you do that is actually speaking with a qualified financial advisor, your bank, your credit union, your insurance broker may have a referral for you, but you want to sit down with someone who can help you decide how you want to spend, not necessarily how you want to spend your money, but how you spend your money, how you save your money, and then how you save for your future as well.
Yeah, and I mean, and it all boils down to communication. Everything we've said is about you guys having a discussion about it. Yeah. So, you know, remember marriage is actually, it's a partnership. You know, it's no longer just about you. It's about both of you guys. The officiant in the Bible says 2 become 1. You got that? Go check that out. 2 become 1. So you guys are together. Number 4, don't let salary differences come between you guys. Okay, so don't let that drive a wedge. These days, it's more common for you guys to be on the same wavelength. Okay, you guys make the same amount. It really doesn't matter. So if you really make that become an issue in your marriage, it's going to really, you know, ultimately become a factor for you guys filing for divorce. And it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that serious. You're not entitled to spend more money because you make more money. You know, does that make sense? So just because you make more, don't just go and blow money because you know you make those dollars. And it's not just my money; it's our money. It's my family's money for my daughter. You know what I mean? So it's not just for me to go out when I get that check or whatever, just go blow it. I got to think about, you know, everybody.
Right, because you guys are on the same team. This is a team effort. Exactly. This is a partnership, a business.
Boy, you see how that came back around? Say that again. It's a business. I caught it.
But you didn't see the look.
No, I didn't see the look.
No, you didn't see the look. But it's a business. It's a relationship, and you guys want to make sure that you are on the same team when you think about who brings in what. Don't use income for leverage. Don't do that. Right. Don't do that. Gotcha. And number 5, don't let your in-laws, your kids, TV, society, reality shows, don't let them determine how you spend, save, or share your money. Share, because we do share it in some form or fashion. But that's between you and your spouse, your significant other. Again, this is going to revert back to don't try and live up to the Joneses. It's not going to work out in your favor. Right. Try to make sure that you communicate with each other so that your kids can see you talk about finances as well. Yeah. Because how you handle your finances is the baseline in the beginning of how they're going to handle their finances. Yeah, so if you're afraid to talk about money, they're going to be afraid to talk about money. If you're afraid to save and talk about who's the best saver, who's the best person to, you know, things for vacation, college education, they're not going to know how to start those conversations with their significant other. So remember, you have other ones watching you, so live by example, be truthful about and honest to each other what you guys want to do with your money, and don't let any outside people influence you.
Yes, and I mean, even with that, that's with anything with your kids. They're watching.
Oh yeah.
So definitely with your finances, it's a good idea. Take them with you. If you gotta go see a financial advisor, take them there so they can kind of be part of that conversation and understand how them dollars work.
Oh, I agree 100%. So to wrap it up, 5 tips on how to have the money management talk. 1, have an open and honest conversation about your money habits.
Number 2, identify who's who in the relationship, in the marriage, when it's dealing with your finances.
And number 3 is decide how you will manage the money and where you will manage the money, okay, and which accounts will be managed by whom.
All right. That was kind of long.
This number 3. They can be long. It's in the middle.
Number 4. So I just got the little short answer. Don't let your salary, don't let money get in the way. Don't let the money get in the way of you guys. You're supposed to be one. Don't let the money get in the way.
From the business partner.
We won.
And number 5 is don't let family, friends, and society tell you how to handle and control your money. It's between you and your significant other. Everybody else can kick rocks, yeah, unless they, really dedicating, donating money to you. If they donate money to you, you may have to say something. But other than that, keep everybody out your business.
Okay, so all this, we're talking about finances. It can really be a sensitive topic, sensitive subject.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys as a couple should really sit down and discuss what's going on with you guys' money, how you want to save, what you're trying to do. You're trying to save for a house, mm-hmm, somebody needs another car, mm-hmm, college, whatever. It's about communication. We'll keep going back to that. You guys communicating about that. Try to come up with a plan, a business plan, possibly on your financial goals. We'll keep bringing it back to the business thing too.
Yeah, it's a business relationship. Yeah. A marriage is a relationship that, mm-hmm, can be based on business and not love.
Never mind. Anyway, you guys come up with that plan, and just try to stick with it. If someone is kind of deviating from that, which you probably will deviate a little bit, just try to get them back on track. It's not about pointing fingers. Just try to pull the person back in if you're not kind of getting off track from where we're trying to go. Yeah.
As always, be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Ask the Kings. We are on Facebook, Instagram, IG, and Twitter, and YouTube. Please follow, like, and share on our YouTube page, Ask the Kings. And if you want to make a donation to the business relationship, you can cash at us at $ Ask the Kings.
Don't cash ask me some of that, okay? As always, guys, we leave you with this. I'm about to cut this short. We leave you with this.
He playing, but why to meet me outside, girl, over there by the $19 million house because of how she talks. Okay, I'm just playing.
Got a point there.
Thank you. So, business partner, let's do that again.
As always, we leave you with this.
Marriage and relationships is what you make it.
So remember to put in the work.
Put in that work. And we're going to end with a handshake, business partner.
Thank you.